This case file, we unearth new secrets from ancient Egypt as recent explorations beneath the iconic pyramids reveal structures hidden for millennia. What ancient knowledge or treasures might lie within these subterranean chambers? Could they hold clues to the civilization's advanced engineering and astronomical alignments? Next, we jet off to Daytona, Florida, where a group of evening beachgoers were recently transfixed by a dazzling display in the sky. A series of lights danced over the Atlantic, igniting theories of extraterrestrial visitors. Then, we delve into the dark annals of American history with the recent release of files concerning the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. These documents, long shrouded in secrecy and speculation, promise to shed new light on one of the most debated events of the 20th century. Will they provide clarity, or will they deepen the well of conspiracy theories? Join the theorists as we traverse ancient hidden halls, hover over the unknown, and decode newly declassified documents and more on Alien Theorists Theorizing.
Welcome to Alien Theorists Theorizing, Case File 353. I'm Braden.
I'm Zell.
I'm Dan. And I'm Andrew.
And this case file almost didn't happen tonight. Oh my God. I'll tell you, there is nothing more rage-inducing, fucking like blood-curdling than having a toddler who is going through some sort of sleep regression, woke up last night at 3, would not go back to bed, refused to nap this afternoon. I laid with him in his little crib for 2 hours, refused to nap, so much so that we were getting in a fight, and it's like, reset up his crib. And I'm like, it's 7:05. I record in half hour. He is just shrieking.
I feel like you had this.
Did you just say, you just said that there's nothing worse than this? You're going to be doing this twice.
Oh, so
at the same time. There's going to be two humans going through this exact same super regression
just
at the
doing
same time.
Just hearing screams and just stress using an Allen key that is too little, and you're like, it keeps falling. You're like, ooh,
I feel like you just a couple of weeks ago you took down the crib and had to set it back up as well.
Did I mention my spouse is 31 weeks pregnant, showing 40? Does some of
so
this
you just keep taking the crib down and then setting it back up when he won't sleep?
I am just at the will.
I see a crib.
Of the gods.
I see a crib in the back corner back there. Is that the one?
That's crib 2. That's crib 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
that's a double crib.
I'm just at the will of the gods, my friends. I'm surprised you made it. Oh, dude! Honestly, I was just like,
your face looks like you've been crying. Actually, you look like you've been crying.
Yeah, he does. He has red streaks on his cheeks.
Can I tell you?
Perfect.
There may have been a couple stress tears that I let out. Like, when you're that mad and you drop the Allen key. The Allen key on the cribs. Oh my God, damn! They're so small.
I don't.
You know what they do?
I don't know.
You're like this.
I don't cry when I'm mad.
No.
Do you know what those Allen keys in China, when they make them, there's like a worker who purposely cuts them short just to fuck with you.
Well, no, it's because they got little kids using them over there. It'd be easy if I had little kid hands. I would be no problem. Boop. Like my hands, like some of the slots you have to get the screws in. You can't even fucking put your hands like through the slats, and you're like, so you're doing the like between two fingers trying to get it threaded. Ooh, let me tell you, brothers. Oh God, so maddening.
Just bring out the fucking pass load and snap that thing together.
Bang, bang, bang.
Done.
You want me to fucking build it? Yeah. I'll fucking build it.
Finish myself as I'm doing it. I'm fucking biting it.
Go Lethal Weapon, fucking with the nail gun.
I'm playing fucking Russian roulette with the fucking pass load.
Yeah.
No, it was like I said, fucking rage inducing. And then he was screaming. And then like part of you is like, the crib's not going to help. There's no fucking way. He's been miserable.
It's just going to give him a jail cell to screaming.
Yeah. So then I'm like, there's no fucking way this works. Okay. So I'm telling you guys, I'm like, there's no way. I'm going to get told to take it apart. Like that's where this night's going. It's just pain. Lays in the crib down. And I'm just like, fuck you. Like just now, not
that thing
only
stays up now.
Not only.
Not only
did he ruin my day, in my last night, then he made me look like an asshole. Right?
You make yourself look like an asshole. That's fine.
I know.
Leave the fucking thing up.
The next
Stop
step is
tearing it down.
The next step is to put a lid on the crib.
Dude,
just fucking seal her up.
I almost flipped it on him today and was like, yeah. I almost tossed his whole room. Just empty room. Sleep on the floor.
Couple pillows on the ground. Good luck.
Yeah. Holy fuck. But hey, listen.
Could
it be a worse time in the
desert
world right
nomads have
now?
been doing it for centuries. Just throw some carpets down, some pillows. Like, it's done.
Yeah. Could there be a worse time right now to be a fucking have a degree in ancient Egyptology? Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Egyptology? Yeah, that's studying
Egyptologist.
Yes, that's what it's called.
They're gonna have to go back to school, baby.
And that's
because
because
that's all that's
because everyone's heard the news.
Weekend,
We're all rock hard sitting under the desk here. There's a vast underground city below Egypt's Giza pyramids. Scientists' wild theory claims.
What do you mean theory? This is fact now.
Well, it's scanned. There's
They got the scans.
There's some scans.
Yeah,
scans
are like what exactly?
Some people are even calling it the mythical halls of Amenti, which I guess is like.
Well, it's like
I didn't even know what that was.
We can't even.
Or something.
Yeah,
like it's like, oh, that's like super exciting, and then you keep reading, and it's like 2 kilometers fucking deep.
Well, 600. So what the discovery is?
Okay,
what is it?
Let's start. Let's fucking start. Let's start at the beginning. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Fucking pyramids. First off, fucking pyramids.
Sorry, buddy. We got raging hard-ons right now.
I know it's hard to concentrate. It's hard to concentrate.
Yeah, there's not a lot of blood.
I got no blood flow in my brain. Okay,
sometime, start at the beginning. Sometime 5,000 to 6,000 years ago.
So pretty much what happened is there's this project called the Khafre project, and that's what the 3 pyramids are. What the Khafre, Menkaure, and Khufu, the 3 pyramids.
Khufu.
Supposed to be the burial chambers of these ancient Egyptian pharaohs, right? The god kings. So this project pretty much is originated in Italy's University of Pisa, famous for their tower, I believe, right?
That leans.
Right? And the University
famous
of
for their shitty
Strathclyde
architecture
in Scotland. And they used what's called SAR technology, synthetic aperture radar, which is radar shot from fucking space from these 2 satellites to scan.
What's dope?
To like Doppler, pretty much Doppler scan
lasers.
The ground.
Call
space
it what
lasers,
it is.
right?
Yeah. Space lasers.
Jewish space lasers.
Yes.
And then through this space lasers, this SAR technology, they said they found 5 previously unknown chambers in the pyramids themselves. But more importantly, structures are connected to pathways that lead below the surface and are believed to expose hidden rooms well under the at least 4,500-year-old pyramid. So these electromagnetic signals, they turn them into phonetic data that unveiled larger infrastructure, which, if you haven't seen them, there's an artist rendering of the actual.
Yeah, dude, I love the artist rendering. Always go with the artist rendering.
The actual measurements are like in like a Doppler, like red, green, blue. You don't know what the fuck you're looking at. But
yeah,
you give that to an artist and you got yourself 8 large vertical structures, wells or shafts, they think, and they extend 2,000 feet below ground.
Well, the pillars themselves, I read were 670 meters.
Yeah,
and then there is some sort of chamber underneath,
burial chamber,
some sort of like 2 boxes or like cube kind of what they're guessing underneath those. And like my first thing when I saw that, I was kind of like, firstly in my head, I was like, holy shit, fucking. We've all been laughing at that fucking ancient
Hancock
aliens
was right
meme.
this whole fucking time.
That ancient aliens meme where it's like, oh yeah, the pyramids during the day, the pyramids Sunday night, according to the History Channel. I was like, it turns out that's right. But I was thinking right away, I was like, you know what? I don't think we ever talked about that. Like the first thing that came to my head is, and I'm not saying this isn't like an incredible discovery, but I was like, I don't think we ever talked about the fact that like, what is stopping that much weight on the pyramids from sinking? like into the ground or like or anything. Like I don't know, because we've talked about before that the Nile maybe ran between, like beside it, and I was like,
Way to take the most lame theory for what the fuck those are.
No, but let me finish. The thing is, then for me is, I'm like, the pyramids built in 20 years, right? That's what the kind of the mainstream official narrative of right now. But how do you account for now this gigantic fucking hole to the center of the earth, basically? I think that's how far the Earth's 4 kilometers deep, Dan.
It connects to the Hollow Earth, I believe, is what I.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, these structures, they're 8 cylinder structures, and they think either has like a walkway or some type of spiral coil around. That's what they think.
It's got to be a coil.
What kind of coil?
Remember that guy that fucking came on Rogan, Christopher Dunn? Said it's the Giza fucking power plant.
They have talked about the Giza power plant before, and that they use their aquifer running underneath, and it would use like, what's it, like piezoelectric generation, where like the water would vibrate the stone, which would create like a electric field, which would emanate up through the pyramid, up through the gold capstone, into space, connecting with the spaceships, powering them till the end of time.
Yeah, that holds up.
I mean, these, because how tall is the actual pyramid itself? It's like 700 feet or something, right?
Well, these are the biggest pyramids, aren't they?
Great Pyramid height.
I think so. I think these things are way big. Like it's way deeper. Yeah. So these things are way fucking so it's like 5 times deeper. The pyramid is literally the tip of the iceberg.
So it's cool because can I put this on the stream here? I don't think this website, New York Post. I'll use the New York Post. They don't have any security. We can fucking use their stuff.
You can use the picture?
Yeah, let's use the picture. And we got some bet ads on the side here. Why not? Fucking throw them up there. Bet now.
So crazy.
Like, that's the artist rendering, obviously. The actual photo looks like that.
Well, I thought didn't they have the little chambers at the bottom of those cylinders too? The one I saw?
There's theorized to be two giant like rectangle structures underneath.
Yeah. That's
like that.
Obviously where they use the electricity to fucking resurrect their fucking dead fucking gods. Like it definitely, like I get Frankenstein vibes from that.
Because like I wonder.
Yeah, it's where they keep the stargates, right?
There, that could be where they power
the Gould hang out. It's where the Gould hang out. Yeah.
Right. Now, I mean, that's just fucking. They just look. That's just cool.
It's fucking cool, man.
It is like, I mean, when I see that, it does. Now, if it's to be like, because dude, we've been doing this so long. I'm like, is this a fucking cake mummy scenario? Like, is this cake? Right? You know what I mean? Is this cake? I don't know. I have a hard time believing anything. Like, obviously, because it's crazy. Because someone sent it to me. Someone sent that to me super early on in the day when it was breaking. And I saw it and I went, oh, that's cool. And I looked it up and there was nothing. And then literally like an hour later, it was fucking everywhere. Like was talking about this discovery. So part of me is, I'm like, you know, is that technology like, is it that good? Could this be a nothing burger, or is this now like change everything we know about humans moving forward?
Let's go with changing the narrative.
Let's throw it out there. It's going to change everything. Let's throw away other people. Let's throw away the people who say the claims are exaggerated or the technology can't produce these images. Let's throw those away. Those don't count. Right? They don't count. This has to be.
We saw it in fucking Predator Vision on all those pictures.
Yeah. It's perfect. I mean, even when you see it in Predator Vision, you're like, okay, I can see there's something there, like looks like pillars, and there looks like to be something like spiralized, kind of going up, and you're like, that's interesting. Like, what happens now? Because like Egypt's so stingy with letting people like do more research on this stuff. Like, does this open the door?
No, instantly. What's his name? Zahi Hawass. He's like the head of Egypt research.
Yeah, he's downplaying it, isn't he?
Oh, he said it's completely wrong and fake news. Yeah. Not even like not like, oh, interesting, we'd like to look more into it. Just like, nope, wrong.
Dumb,
stupid.
He
is an Egyptologist. He has nothing to do with this technology. He has no idea. He's just instantly like, nope. There's no chance.
Stupid.
Well,
fuck it.
We've kind of talked about it before that Egyptology has become like its own little, almost like cult, right? Where it's like the
racket,
right? Yeah, their own little racket, especially
they're
in Egypt, where
textbooks.
Yeah, they're selling fucking tickets, right?
anything archaeological takes, the change is so slow. Like you present new evidence, it's going to take a whole generation for that to set in till the old guard kind of retire. Like it just takes a long time.
Well, it's hard when every time you find an artifact, you get some guy in a fucking hat and a whip punching you in the face and taking it away, bearing it.
Now, my question is, so with this, like, did you guys, because I was trying to read up on some of the SAR technology, have they used this before to unearth other, like, underground structures with similar like success rates anywhere else?
This isn't what they're using in the Amazon to like underneath the jungle, right?
I think they're using LiDAR.
That's
so
LiDAR.
This is different. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That's also lasers, I think.
Space lasers?
I don't know if I think they're terrestrial based lasers.
Fucking
I don't know. 100%.
Well, LiDAR can be placed on a drone and stuff now. It's very, you can use a very small footprint.
I wonder if like LiDAR just can't go deep enough. Is that what they're...
I just don't think they're allowed to use it. I think from my understanding, when we've talked to the couple people with Egypt, it's really, really hard to get any permits to do any kind of research. Because remember that one guy was like, he wanted to look at the foot of the Sphinx because he said it held like there was like a tomb, he was pretty sure based on his readings, and he couldn't even get permits to LiDAR under the feet just to see if there was something maybe.
What are they hiding?
Well, here it is. Let's go through it. LiDAR versus SAR. LiDAR is laser pulses that measure the time it takes for the laser to reflect back, creating a 3D image.
Cool.
SAR emits radar that echoes to create 2D or 3D images. LiDAR uses light with short wavelengths, and SAR uses microwaves. LiDAR from drones or aircraft. SAR from military satellites, aircraft, can penetrate clouds and see at night. Higher resolution is LiDAR. Lower resolution is SAR. So typically when it looks like when you take a measurement, say of the rock or whatever, it's measured in meters, where LiDAR is like down to millimeters. So you get a much more detailed.
Oh, okay. So like the next step now would be let's LiDAR this thing.
Yeah, I just doesn't really say LiDAR can go deep underground. It's more like a topography map. Like, so if you shoot down through the Amazon and there's pyramids
and it shapes it. That's why they can. Okay.
I wonder if they tried it first and they're like, we gotta go deeper.
Well, they tried the LiDAR. They're like, I think there's there is pyramids right there.
Well, it's kind of like SAR's kind of like night vision goggles that go through a little bit into the ground as well, while LiDAR is more like a flashlight, like a really bright flashlight you flash.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so that's kind of how that works. SAR, as far as I know, the stuff I looked up, it doesn't go that deep. When I tried to look at an explanation about how they got those crazy measurements of stuff like 200 kilometer, it sounded like they're like, well, we also used some structures that we found as like resonating things. It sounded like they were talking about like a tuning fork, like you hit something else and you're like, oh, we took from that resonance, we extrapolated that to say that there's more stuff underneath, and you get that big blob.
It makes sense maybe for
like, okay,
like if they found new chambers in the pyramid above surface, it kind of makes more sense for that. Like, oh, there's a big void here. We can tell it's maybe 8 to 10 meters or whatever. But I don't know how you get down 2,000 feet. I couldn't figure it out. But I want to believe that there's these fucking things so bad.
I do.
I so badly. I was like, I love rewriting human history. How many times in our lifetimes are we going to do it? Like, hell yeah, bring it on. Like one of the things I was reading was like, it's not even, the pyramids weren't buried. What we're seeing, these columns were exposed. And the biblical flood brought in the mud flood, and buried it in sediment and stuff up to the tip.
Yeah, I got a feeling that they're gonna fucking try and, for lack of better words, keep this buried. Like, you can see what they do. Like any Graham Hancock, you see every step that he's tried, and all of a sudden he's a white supremacist.
Has
They're
anyone
doing whatever they can do to fucking discredit the poor
White
bastard?
supremacy's married to an Indian girl.
Yeah, like it's crazy, right?
she's
Because
his
his
beard.
Atlantis theory
His
was
racist beard.
was racist, yet he had Atlantis and advanced civilization in Africa. Like, I don't understand why that would be.
It's
Some white people tried to claim it once, and now it's racist. I don't know.
It's
that's bizarre. We just talked about those white people.
the thing for me is too, it's like, again, it's so old already, and like the timeline, like 20 years. I'm like, if these structures are what they say, like it blows that out of the water. It's like, how do you dig that deep with fucking the tools? Like, you know what I mean? Rolling logs, like you just get everyone out there by hand, little shovels, digging that deep into the ground. Like you would have to have shoring. Like this is like shit you see us doing with skyscrapers in the city.
Pilings.
Right? Like digging pilings, right? Like it's fucking insane.
On a massive
like,
scale.
Yeah, and then we crumble all the buildings around it. Fuck all their foundations. The fuck Station 2 is cracked in half.
Is it?
Like there's literally a giant fucking crater in the middle of the bathroom, and the city keeps being like, it's okay, and you can see the building sloping.
So let's just talk about some modern building. There it is. So we in Kelowna, it's built on a mud, like a sand
mud
plate,
flood.
It's a mud from a mud flood, right? It's an old glacier lake that had filled in, and the whole city's built on not bedrock. So if you want to build skyscrapers, you first have to preload the land for like 2 years of the building's weight times like 20% or something like that. So you got to crush the ground down for 2 years to push the water out. And then you have to put hundreds of pilings down. The depth depends on how high and heavy the building. And we did that. And the buildings around, they cracked in half.
Yeah, the station was built in 1905. It's like it's literally one of the oldest buildings in the city. It's
so it
beautiful.
probably had a pretty flimsy foundation to start with. And then you just eroded it.
I'll throw some pictures on Patreon tomorrow.
D. Lopez just had bought a house in one of the Pathways building. Because he was a single dad, he was eligible to buy in like the low income building. He was in there for like 4 months. They dug the hole, and that building's condemned. It's a brand new building.
That's crazy, eh?
Cracked it right in half. It sank 6 inches one side.
So, like, if these are like ancient pilings, then it's like this would be seemingly like the birthplace of like architecture, like of a scale we don't even know. Like there would be nothing that big here.
Well, that's one of the things I think Giza is on bedrock though. Like they know. That's why I always thought that. Is Giza built on bedrock?
Well, that would make sense. Then it wouldn't sink without these pilings. But then if it is on bedrock, are these things drilled into the fucking bedrock?
A thick layer of limestone bedrock.
So then if these things, okay, so let's go with that. So if these things are real and the SARS detected these pilings, these 8 columns that are that deep, are they drilled through the fucking limestone?
Well, how deep would the bedrock be?
You would hit it before 670 meters or the pyramid would be sinking.
Yeah, I guess.
The bedrock, like the pyramids are built on the bedrock and the Sphinx is carved into the bedrock.
So it's right on. So then these columns would be...
They're drilled through the bedrock.
Drilled through, which would be
crazy.
fucking insane. Yeah.
It's even crazy.
Because then it's like, how, like, what would be the timeline to put that together? You know what I mean? Like, because, like, sure, we've talked about limestone before, and it's, Dan famously said, like, these people are so bored. What else are they going to do? But to carve down 670 meters, I guess the spirals would be maybe a stairway back up. Like, let's say, like,
stairway, maybe
realistically, right?
So it's just a giant fucking slide, and then you got to climb up the ladder after,
just for fun.
Well, yeah,
it's a McDonald's play place down there. Is what you're saying, really.
Yeah, that makes sense. That tracks.
It's the first golden arches. It's
the river used to be closer, so they're just giant water slides. Probably is what they are.
Oh, never even thought about that.
Secret underground water park down there.
Those, like fucking old West Edmonton Mall, like the dark ones where you go devoid of light. Then you end up in the bottom tank and you float back up the center column when they fill it with water.
Yeah, they're like our pharaohs need a water park and they need a way to enjoy themselves in the afterlife.
Pretty sure that's what King Cusco wanted to do in Emperor's New Groove. That was his whole plan.
Oh, Disney
build
knew
a water slide.
They knew about Atlantis. They knew about
the
secret water parks.
So if it's not built on bedrock, or it's built on bedrock, so these things, if it's a power plant, we got to get some type of electrical engineer to what's down there that would get the electricity flowing. Because I've heard the water theory. The water hitting the stone creates like a vibration, like kind of like a quartz crystal. When you tap it, it lasts for 10,000 years. Like their watch never stops. Like that type of energy on a grand scale. But
sorry, what? Hold on. What?
Like those quartz crystals in watch, like when they get them started, like the initial tap creates energy that keeps them going forever. Like they never.
I didn't realize they were magic.
They're not magic. It needs a force to start it.
Yeah,
and I think it's called the piezoelectric effect. I'm pretty sure.
I had no idea. I thought people were whining these things.
I remember something about them finding, like, in the Queen's chamber, they found some type of, like, chemicals. I'm trying to look it up right now.
All right, Theorites, this episode of Alien Theorist Theorizing is brought to you by Mood.com. That's right, Mood.com. Mood is 100% federally legal THC from small U.S. farms. Discreet delivery, no medical card required. Trusted by over 800,000 members and counting. Do you feel like you need better sleep, relief from aches? You want to chill out? Or maybe not. Maybe you want to get energized and focused. Just feel happy. Or maybe you just want a little better sex. A good cannabis product can do all that for you and more. Mood has gummies, flowers, edibles, beverages, vapes, you name it, and they probably got it. So if you're looking for some high-quality THC products, go to mood.com and at checkout, enter our promo code ALIEN for 20% off your purchase. Why drive? Get it delivered. All right, now back to the show. That's mood.com, promo code ALIEN. All right, back to theorizing. All right, back to the show.
Hydrogenated zinc chloride and hydrochloric acid. They found in her, so that they think the hydrogen gas would rise them through the pyramid, fueling an energy reaction. Yeah, I don't. Rocket appliances.
Like, I wonder if they're tapped into even some sort of like that deep. If there's like, is there a fucking oil pocket or a fucking methane pocket or something? You know what I mean? Like, is there something that?
Oh, why would they use fossil fuels?
I don't know.
Stargate. I don't know why. Stargates.
Well, I mean, well, let's get into that, right? Does this?
You're trying to conceive of a. Yeah,
I lied about the lifespan of the watch. It's only 10 to 20 years. I'm full of shit.
Oh, okay. That's a big. Right. That's a
big difference. 10,000 years is a little different.
That's not magic.
Yeah. Someone lied to me once, and I got trapped in my brain forever. That's what happened there.
Yeah, that happened to me. That happened to me with Wendell Clark. My dad told me Wendell Clark was gay because I wanted to hold the poster that came with the like it came with a GT Snow Racer.
Yeah,
I got Brett Hall. And then it came with a Wendell Clark poster, and I was like, "Oh, let's put it up." My dad's like, "No, the guy's gay. You can't put that up." No offense, like this was a long time ago.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
But you thought
because he was a Canucks fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was a Canucks fan. So then the rest of my life, when anybody brought up Wendell Clark, I'd be like, he's gay.
The simple minds of young kids.
So the facts that you internalize as a kid, and then you're like, "Oh, that's truth forever."
Man, I got
even when you learn that it's like it's not true, you're like,
"Yeah, man, Old Fort Cheddar, that killed me." That one fucking. When I found that out, that I was just saying the English and French together.
Yeah,
I changed my whole life. Like everything made sense.
That happens.
I was one with the universe for a second. If these things are Stargates, maybe this is like because we've talked about different case files about there being like some sort of galactic federation. Like, is this some sort of fucking Mass Effect relay that like has been put here by the like, the Anunnaki, and then it's just sitting here dormant, waiting for us to get technologically advanced to discover all its secrets, to activate it, and it's going to fucking shoot us off into, the Orion's belt. Zeta Reticuli, right?
Nah, we were just the part, we were just like the off-road that eventually they built like the highway, and now we just fell off to the side, and they just like don't give a shit, and you're just like the town that's like, they built that new highway going through that way, don't need to go through there anymore. Yeah, that's great.
We're the abandoned gas station on the highway, just no one goes there anymore.
It's fascinating to me. Like, it's seeing these and like doing all the readings has just piqued my interest so much, and being like, fucking aliens built these things. Oh, it's from the future. It wasn't us. Something built these things. Or just, especially like
just Hancock, man. Hancock knows this is a pre-Diluvian civilization that was so advanced. We have no idea. They were buried, gone. Their civilization is at the bottom where the foundation is, buried under 2,000 feet of mud.
Mudflood.
But then the other interesting thing to me is, like, when I think about this, like, okay, if this thing's backfilled and there's stuff down there, like, I also think that, like, when we look at Göbekli Tepe, like, we know that was purposefully backfilled. I'm like, was this a way to preserve knowledge? Like, is this like the best kind of form of time capsule that you could do, is to bury these things deep within the earth to preserve some sort of knowledge, right?
All the two boxes are time capsules.
Yeah, and it just with fucking scrolls in there.
And this is almost like a bomb shelter.
Yeah,
and the staircase down is filled with like demons and other shit you got to vanquish with a sword to get to the bottom.
Just fucking, what are those things, Dan? What are those things in Minecraft? The creepers?
Creepers, yeah.
Filled with creepers.
Like slash your way down to the bottom.
Full of creepers.
My kid wants to watch that movie so bad. I'm trying so hard to not take him.
There's a Minecraft movie?
Yeah, and it's like, I don't even understand what he's
Jason
never
Momoa.
played the game.
Kids probably talk about it.
They must.
Isn't Minecraft the most successful video game of all time?
In terms of
more than
in some
like
way,
Mario
probably.
and shit?
Just like longevity and player base and everything. Hours played.
More than people are still playing Mario.
Not on the level of
play a lot of
Minecraft.
Minecraft.
People build entire worlds in Minecraft.
Yeah, it's insane.
Universes.
I don't even know
Universes.
what is Minecraft. What do you do?
You just build. You build stuff.
You build.
Dig.
You chop
Build.
into the earth. You build stuff. There's
So you try
ghosts
to
that come
build
out.
something better than
Kill
the guy
dragons.
beside. Like, it's two players.
Nope.
You build
You can build
castles.
together.
As many players
yeah.
as you want, depending on your server. You can have like up to I don't know.
Well, what's the point of the like? What do you do to like? How do you win?
There is a
Build.
like objectives. Like you can go into this like different dimension and fight these this dragon and stuff, and open up portals. There is stuff that you can do if you want to do like a narrative version, but other people just like they just build stuff. Like you just
build houses.
you build houses,
Like
you build
big
statues, you build
caves.
universes, planets, entire islands, whatever you want
It's
to do.
insane. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Like, is that what people did here on Earth? Is that what the pyramids are? Just
Just
some race
Minecraft.
comes down. Fucking Minecraft, like, quickly build our logo.
Wait, is the Earth just Minecraft? Oh my god.
So how old do the pyramids go back to? What's the current date?
4,500 years ago.
4,500 years
The
ago
accepted date of the building of it,
of the tip.
of the tip.
Right?
That's another theory because let's talk about that for a second, because we've theorized before that something was there. Like there was an existing structure. Let's say it was the chambers, and it was like what didn't look like a pyramid. The Egyptians come along. This was built by the gods. We must honor the gods. They built a pyramid around it. So inside, like all the chamber, because the chambers and stuff are all like solid granite, way different construction, perfect walls, right angles, super smooth. And then the rest of the pyramid, although like
Jiggity janks.
it's jiggity, like it's obviously super sophisticated and good engineering that it can meet at the top on like with like great precision like that. But when you look at all the rocks and stuff, they're like different sizes, all chipped and they're not the same. It doesn't look like the same precision as the inside rooms.
So does that mean all the other like shitty pyramids they built before and that they keep finding are like, were those built on top of other things, or the ones that are older, the step pyramids that are out there, like the really old ones? I mean, they keep finding more of them because they're like, these were either the precursors. Isn't the timeline
that
of the
or-
pyramids though, like it gets really good quickly and then it just falls off, and all the ones after are just garbage.
Yeah, but what, like, can we not attribute a lot of the outsides just like wear and tear, being exposed to the elements for I don't know how long?
Sure, in a way, but they're not like precise. If they would have used like granite rock, like the inside, it wouldn't weather like this. Like it's all like limestone outside.
Yeah.
Soft rocks that weather with rain and
I
wind
wonder-
and-
Well, they took off all of like whatever
coating.
how they say that the
Yeah, the stuff
coating,
was
like that all
coated,
got taken
the
off.
colors
Like
and-
There's a
that
little
got
bit left on the
stolen or
second
repurposed
pyramid,
or whatever,
right?
Yeah.
A little bit at the
I
top.
wonder if part of me
I remember
kind of-
watching a documentary recently, and like they were going inside the pyramid, and they had like a couple of guys going around and pointing out actually points within the pyramid that they're like, this here cracked, like this cracked while they were building it, and somebody probably was like, oh shit, and like they had to either rebuild it or they had to like, you know, they figured out that like there's too much pressure coming down from all the rocks like on top, and they figured they had to like build out or hollow out some of it in order to make like extra layers or something like that. It was really interesting. Like the construction within the pyramids is always pretty fun, but they can always like people pointing out, like being like, yeah, you look right here, like this cracked, like this was here before, and you can see that from here.
I
and here.
wonder-
This is pretty interesting.
just your point, Dan, where you said like, you know, could these other step pyramids be, you know, be built over stuff? It got me thinking of like, you know, when you go and just kind of give me an idea of when we were looking at like temples, ancient temples in Thailand and stuff, and they're all fucking destroyed because what would happen is like different religious groups would roll in, just destroy the temple, put up their own statues, they take over the temple, and then like a new crew would come in, raise the temple, put up their statue, and then it's like on and on and on forever. I wonder if this is, you know, maybe that's one of the things that to preserve like an ancient knowledge is like they're like, yeah, just we're gonna bury it so no one can destroy it. Like
I mean,
no
that
one
was
can get
that
to
was
it.
the idea between like King Tut's tomb and stuff. Some of the other tombs where they built them, and they realized like, you know, Egypt has a very long history, which I assume they learned from being like, hey, if we build these really elaborate temples, when we get invaded, they just get fucking sacked, and it's really easy for tomb raiders to find our shit and fucking raid all these tombs. So then they're kind of like they started building like less conspicuous tombs for some of their kings, as far because that's why King Tut's tomb was so well preserved, was that it was like people couldn't find it, like it wasn't built with the grandiose of the other like a Ramses' tomb or something like that, like one of the more
With the
major
spotlights
kings.
on the
Yeah,
lesser.
like the giant statues and everything. It's not a Valley of the Kings kind of thing where it's like, hey, stuff is here. This is where we would buried our king with all his treasure and all his this shit. And you're like, well, it's like somebody's gonna get in there.
I would like to see a scientist determine, because like, listen, I would just like to see how long they would estimate it would take out to carve out these kind of pilings if they go through the limestone, like through the bedrock, right? Like, yeah, like what's the timetable on that with the tools that they had at the time? I actually haven't read anything that says the width of each column.
Yeah, I didn't see the width of the column.
It's like, as far as I can see, it's like the columns that you're talking about are just like, they're just different. That area just has a different density than the stuff around it. So it's not like necessarily that it's a 100% structure. It's just that it could be
Dan,
compact.
I've seen the artist rendering, okay?
Sure.
Yeah. Well, even in the press conference, they kind of said like their best guess is that it's columns, right? But like they don't know. They're still looking. Like this is all new information. So my guess is that they're releasing this to try to get funding to do more of whatever they can without having to go through Egypt to do it, because they're going to be met with nothing but roadblocks.
Like you'd have to do like legit like ground penetrating radar in depth, like tons and tons of different tests all around this area. Because shooting from space, I don't know how you get down 2,000 feet. It doesn't make sense.
I mean, technology's getting better and better.
Yeah, but not 2,000 feet. Like it's not all the stuff I read about it. It's like it's radar. It's not ground penetrating radar. It's just like radar from space.
Well,
and
listen,
didn't
Didn't they use that thing in Jurassic Park with the shotgun shell? Remember that?
Yeah, kind of.
That's a very like low depth ground penetrating radar.
So
you're still
let's get a
getting, like,
fucking one with
6 to 8
bazooka.
Let's get a
feet,
big
maybe.
one. Let's
fucking
shoot a
get down
fucking
there.
nuke down there and put one deep.
Well, the funny thing is, like, when like all of this stuff came out, like they just published an article about like some actual Japanese scientists that did some ground penetrating radar like out near the pyramids, and they found a couple of like other structures and like mastabas and stuff like that, like burials for maybe some nobles or people who in that area. But it was like that just popped up while I was looking for this. Like they've been started excavations in like they started their studies in 2022, 2023, and now they're going to start excavation soon at a bunch of other stuff that they found around there. That like the area was completely empty. Like it showed a photo. It was like you wouldn't even think anything was there. And then they did some ground penetrating radar and some electric, what was it? Tomography, electric something tomography.
Something, yeah.
Yeah. And they showed like they found structures down there, like it's something down there. And they're like, yeah, we're going to start excavating pretty soon. So I was like, cool. Well, yeah, it's like, oh, that's kind of fallen by the wayside with these giant structures. Like, oh, it's not as cool as Stargate. So, pretty interesting.
Yeah. Anyways, it's cool. I mean, I wish there was more information. It's just a little clickbaity, perhaps, but I'm hoping.
Yeah,
I'm
right
hopeful.
now.
Might get some drip.
I'm hopeful.
In the coming weeks.
Oh, it's just crazy to
analysis.
think, like, if it is real, it's like, obviously that was not created to house.
It wasn't.
the
Yeah, it
bodies of
wasn't a
pharaohs.
fair. It wasn't
There's
a
no
pharaoh
way.
tomb.
Like,
No.
it's not what it's
No
for.
fucking way.
There's no fucking
Yeah,
way.
we have no idea.
Any type
If
of
that's what the
like our
case is.
current mega projects like that are all to do with energy generation. Any type of giant.
Unless
project
you
like
live in
that.
Canada, then we won't do that.
Oh, we
Can't produce any of our own energy.
we were gonna.
We
we're
did
not-
just-
we've already produced enough. We're not going to do any more. We don't want to harm the environment. Okay.
This is
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
The only thing I'll add though is like but the satellites not being able to penetrate 2,000 feet. We're talking satellites. I just dug 24 inches and I'm just one man, right? So extrapolate that.
You
to
had a
satellite
shovel.
space.
Does the satellite have a shovel?
Yeah, but it's got lasers.
No,
Space
it's
laser.
radar. It's
I'm
not
saying,
lasers.
think about it.
It's not lasers.
The other fucking crazy shit that's been going off is that crazy bastard did it. Released all 80,000 documents of the
Not all.
JFK assassination.
No.
Not
Dan,
all.
Dan read them all.
Instantly, just downloaded
Yeah.
them.
So on March 18, 2025, the National Archives released a substantial collection of previously classified documents related to President John F. Kennedy's assassination, totaling over 77,000 pages,
That's a lot.
which Dan read in about 14 minutes.
That's one Warhammer book that Dan reads weekly.
Yeah.
Yep.
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 They pulled some pretty crazy shit from that, though.
Yeah.
Like-
Ted Cruz's dad just killed. I saw the photos.
Ted Cruz is also the Zodiac.
The Zodiac killer.
That's
I
what
think
he's
that's
got
that.
it in
We've
his
already
family.
found that out.
It makes sense. That
Yeah.
that fucking tracks.
Apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I saw like a document too there where JFK was like called Joe Biden a traitor or something. I was like, is this real? I was like, I don't even know it to decipher if what pages I'm seeing are real or AI generated.
Depends where you get
anymore.
him from.
Yeah.
There was some crazy shit though. Like the CIA was watching Oswald before the assassination. So
Yeah.
he was on like a CIA watch list for a while. They were tracking him through Mexico and then obviously to the USSR.
Well, and what was this shit with Jack Ruby? Didn't they have documented a meeting between Jack Ruby and Oswald
So
like a week prior?
so basically, no, it was weeks prior, but there was a CIA memo that stated that Jack Ruby and Oswald met at a nightclub weeks before the fucking assassination, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's quite
Like, there's nothing else that would link those two people together, before the assassination. Like that's purposeful.
Yeah, so Jack Ruby is the nightclub owner who murdered Oswald.
So they met.
Gang with mafia ties,
Yes, but
and
the
also
fact
known
that,
member of fucking MK Ultra.
yes,
That's the thing, right?
Because he was what was the doctor's name?
Jolly
that he was
West.
seeing?
He was a
Jolly
client.
West.
Or he was a patient, of Jolly West when he was in prison.
Yeah.
After he got arrested.
Now, because it's been a while since I dove into the JFK, but I remember the crazy stuff, like the magic bullets just perfectly on the gurney and like all this. Like, any of that in there? Like,
So there was nothing in there to, go with the more than one shooter theory. Like nothing added to that whatsoever. There was nothing really that went on like the mafia ties, but there was a lot to do it. Like, so this is really interesting. There was a guy named Gary Hill, who was a man that was connected with the CIA, fled Washington after the assassination, saying that a small CIA clique was responsible for the murder. And 6 months later, old Gary Hill just decided to commit suicide, obviously. Suicided himself.
By auto asphyxiation? With his hands tied behind his back?
Maybe, probably. Autoerotic?
Yeah, autoerotic asphyxiation.
Hours before Oswald was assassinated, there was a CIA informant that told them that there was going to be a threat on his life. And there was no extra precautions taken prior to him being murdered. And then, go ahead.
The thing to me is, it's like you like to do the perp walk with him still to this day just doesn't sit right. Like that's the fucking weirdest thing, to do the perp walk with the guy who killed the president.
I don't think so. That's like your big proud fucking moment where you're like, we got him, guys. We got the guy that gave America their most, horrible day to date by, assassinating their fucking, the leader of their country, somebody who was well respected and really liked. You're going to want to fucking do that.
I guess so. I guess I kind of forget that it's the fucking 60s.
Well, just
different time.
Yeah, different time.
Yeah, like they're showing that they did their job, that they, saved America.
So nothing really changed. It's one shooter, Oswald. That's it.
Yeah. There was other stuff like
the bullet. Yeah. It wasn't the fucking driver.
No, nothing like that.
Wasn't the driver.
There's a bunch
around and shot him.
Nothing super new except for the social security numbers of a bunch of congressional staffers and people they interviewed who are still alive.
Hack them.
Sucks to suck.
KGB deputy director said that Oswald was never an agent of the KGB, and they were worried that the CIA was going to use that as a ploy to start World War III. Which
I can see that.
Yeah. CIA has 33 secret bases around the world.
Okay, yeah, I'm not surprised at all.
No,
I'm surprised it's that low of a number. I bet it's more than that.
Probably. This is interesting. I thought the Italian press blamed the CIA initially.
Oh.
Well, I mean, me and Dan talked about Gladio, where some
of the press
CIA,
might have been owned by the Soviets, so it's like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Depends
well,
on
the Italian media may have already been fucking soured to the CIA and their fucking, especially after like Operation Gladio and what they were doing, what they got caught doing in Italy. So they were probably, I don't imagine they were too pleased with the CIA. Probably doesn't like it, that adds up to me that they would just be right away. It's like, it's 100% CIA. Everything is CIA.
They did it here. Like,
they did it to us. Why wouldn't they do it to themselves?
There was like what you were saying, Braden, earlier. There's a lot, like it was hard to get the credible sources from Twitter because, a lot of it. And I tried combing through it as best I could, but it's a lot, 77,000 pages. But all the stuff on Twitter is like, there's so much shit about a secret pipeline between the CIA and Israeli intelligence and like making it a big, like, I'm not going to say it was the Jews, but it was the Jews.
Yeah. The Mossad.
And you're like, okay.
Yeah. Mossad agents.
Yeah. It was my For You page is a lot of death and anti-Semitism. I'm not sure why.
What was up with, okay, you know what, a weird one that kind of went to the wayside, I don't even know we had talked about. It was like trending for a while. It was like that synagogue that had all those beds and they had like the like cops were coming in and like all the like fucking rabbis were like rioting, like fighting the cops off. And like there was like people were like climbing out of like secret sewer.
Oh, that was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Rabbis that they found in the sewers.
What was up? Whatever happened to that?
I don't know. We never found out what
we never found out. That was just like
they're all on fucking meth, just having a time. Cops came.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with that.
Dance clubs.
It's weird though.
Yeah, it was weird. But yeah, all that the Mossad stuff. I'm like, dude, everything's Mossad.
Yeah, I know.
Israeli
it's so hard
right now.
It's so like Twitter's so wild. You can't pull any of your information from there. I'm like,
no. No.
But they got community notes, so you know what's real.
Dude, it's almost like right now, like the flat earth, everything leads to God. Conspiracy world right now, everything leads to Israel. That's
Literally
the flavor of the week.
That's the right wing fucking like conspiracy shit right
That's
now.
always been a thing.
All Twitter is right wingers calling left wingers communists and right wingers calling or left wingers calling right wingers Nazis. It's just like back and forth.
You know, what about the current trend of people just spray painting swastikas on Teslas?
Buddy, that's better than blowing them up.
Well, they're also doing that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Just
I mean,
vandalizing
Teslas are
people's
blowing-
property
they were
because they
blowing
don't
themselves
like a
up
guy
before.
who holds shares in a company.
That's not even that bad, dude. I watched a guy stink finger somebody's fucking door handle.
Oh, dude, I saw him. He was
Okay, like buried, like knuckles
Yeah.
deep in his fucking
Yeah.
ass.
and then he just
And
wipes
just
it all over
swipes it on the fucking door handle.
Oh my god!
I'd rather you blow my vehicle up. That fucking car's ruined. It's written off.
I think
Due
I
to
read.
stink finger.
I think they've arrested like 1,000 people so far for vandalizing Teslas.
I wonder what the
Teslas have a continuous surveillance system at all times. You can turn it on if you turn it on.
Dude, imagine we had that kind of shit when we were kids, because there was like a running joke in our friend group, especially in the winter. You would come out to your car and you would see like a perfect like pee streak down your handle. So you knew when your buddy's pissed on your car, and you'd be like, fuck, you'd go around to the other side and there was one there. So you're like, fuck, the only way I have to touch this frozen piss handle to get in my car. And we fucking would do that shit to each other all the fucking time. Now you just have your fucking little turtle dick on the fucking Sentry cam.
Oh, you froze
never-
it.
I
Just a
can
perfect
definitely
time.
can't say
Oh
I've
my
ever
god,
seen
that's
a
amazing.
dog
Clip
with
it.
peeing on our cars.
Clip
here.
it.
That's a weird thing.
I don't know. That's a face. That's a face right there.
It's a face.
I've never
It's a
seen
face for
one.
radio.
Someone zoom in. Make sure you zoom in really close. Take a screenshot and then DM it to Braden. And said, "That's you. That's your face."
Yeah.
Can you still hear me?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
I'm gonna have to restart because I know it's not recording when it froze like this last time. So I'll be right back. But
What do
you
you mean
guys
it's not
keep going
recording?
on. My recording will stop when it froze. It happened to me last time. I don't know.
Like your audio
It just
stops.
my audio stopped right when I froze.
Interesting. All right.
You should have just left then. Now we got all this audio we don't know what to do with.
Now I got all this bullshit.
Fuck's sake. Guy's a fucking
damn.
inconvenience. What a bastard. Oh, it's just as
Well, while
inconvenient
he's
as his baby.
while he's reloading, there's one more thing we're gonna have a quick look at.
What are we looking at?
Did I have it? I think I have it right here.
What?
Got a
Some of the
UFO
better
in Florida.
videos.
What?
UFO
Oh,
in
perfect.
Florida.
We get to talk about it without the UFO expert.
Of course.
So that's
Yeah.
perfect. That makes me happy.
UFO in Florida. What tab is that? I got so many fucking tabs open right now. Here it is. Daytona
Beach.
God damn it. That's exactly what I thought when I,
Right?
every time I hear Daytona, yeah. Daytona, USA. It's,
Look, it's a great game. Great arcade game.
yeah,
All right, so here we go. Looks like the fucking
Like the
sun.
commentary from the
Yeah, it
people
looks like
is
two
just
suns. That's
yeah.
crazy.
The audio's not going to go on the stream because
Yeah. But it's like the commentary is great because it's people. It's multiple. It was
Well,
reported as like multiple.
I can listen to
witnesses.
I'll listen on my end.
We can hear it.
Here's some weird music.
Yeah, we can hear it, man.
Well, it's just music actually. There's no commentary.
Oh, there was like people.
Okay, I
Maybe
better
that's a
turn
different
that off
video.
because if that gets captured on YouTube, it'll get flagged.
Yeah, don't do it.
Yeah, it was reported as like I remember I saw this video pop up like Friday. This is like a Friday. And they zoom in on that one. It was reported like for a couple of witnesses, like a couple of people, commentary people, they're freaking out on the video. Like they're just like, "What is that? I saw it came up out of the water."
They saw it come out of the water?
Well, that's what they said. And
Jesus.
but it was the stuff that you just saw
That wasn't
online
actually
is
much
like,
there, to be honest.
I just saw
Right.
the sun and then a glowing thing by the sun.
So there's a bunch of theories, flying around. That's like they were saying that they had more footage of that thing, but them and their 5 to 6 other friends that they said they got a bunch of footage. It somehow mysteriously got deleted on their phones.
Hacked.
Which could
Government hack.
it was hacked by what they said they saw black helicopters.
They said that?
Yeah, somewhere in there. There's that they saw black helicopters when they posted this. They said, "Oh, we saw helicopters in that area around this object, maybe having to do with this object.
Wouldn't you think they'd have like a better, like especially now, they would disguise it better? Like everybody knows. Yeah, is there anything more ominous than seeing a black helicopter? You're like right away. You're like, that's fucking weird. That's not normal. But you put a little fucking decal on, makes it look like a news helicopter. You're like, oh yeah, no big deal.
It's also night, so I know you wouldn't be like, what color would the helicopters be like anyways? You wouldn't even be able to tell.
I mean, I think if they were like, oh, this is our eye in the sky in our AM 970 Apache attack traffic helicopter, you'd be like, okay, well, I can fucking kind of see
they're
the
serious
difference
about
here.
their traffic coverage. Yeah, it's like the video. Some people were saying like, the easiest way to kind of go through this video is like you take one of those. I know one of them is Stellarium. I had another one. I can't remember, like Night Sky or whatever, where it gives you like a 360, you can pull it up on your phone and then like it shows you like exactly what you're looking at.
I think I had one called
Star
Watch. I think I had one.
Yeah. Star Watch, Stellarium, Night Sky. I think I had one on my phone. I can't remember what it was called. And it was like, if they gave the time, which they said it was around 10:45, 11 PM is when they shot this at Daytona Beach, Florida. And people were like, well, that's the moon.
Yeah, but it's the moon to creepy music.
It is the moon with, I think they overlaid that music because I thought I had a video where it was like the original commentary that people were just flipping out. Like it was pretty good.
Well, people steal videos all the time, put their own music over it, and then they claim the content for themselves.
I thought I listened to it. I was like, oh,
we should start doing that, boys. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Braden kind of does that. He just fucking puts his face on it. Yeah. And for some reason, he doesn't wear a shirt.
We technically, I'm taking in my morning dump. We somehow, this is a funny thing, is we were like the first people to ever. Are you
completely naked then when you're taking your morning dump? Like,
well, my pants are on my ankles.
So no tarp and pants?
Don't. Yeah, what if your hand slips? It's live. It slips
then
down
I'm not going to post it.
No, it's live.
I never do
it. Oh, you don't do it live? I thought you did them live.
No, I don't do it live. You wild. I know. I live in that dangerously. You goddamn mind.
You should do one of those videos like the Insta hoes do when they have like the bathing suit on and they jump around and then they just got a freeze frame to try and get a quick titty shot. You should do that.
Oh yeah.
All right. Get more views. You could like eat hot dogs like all those other guys do.
Yeah, hot dogs. All right. Yeah. Costco hot dogs. I'll go slug back a couple. We were the first people on YouTube to post a 2013 the Aguadilla Puerto Rico UFO video. And we were the first people ever to post it on YouTube. So every week someone steals that video or posts it from somewhere else and it comes back and we get the notification that like, this is your video. Do you want to strike? You want to strike it?
Do we claim it?
You should do it every time.
Let's start claiming.
There's hundreds. Yeah. There's hundreds.
Go after them.
The only time I ever did that on YouTube was, remember that one guy who was just like, he was just taking our videos, not even like our alien videos or posts, whatever, just like legit ATT videos with us. And was just posting it, deleting the title and posting like his like weird UFO channel. And I messaged him. It's
bizarre to me because it's like there'd be way better stuff for you to take.
Yeah. I was like,
you get like 4 views on our YouTube videos.
Dude, you do it yourself. So I messaged him. I was like, yo, at least like just say the real name of like where this stuff is. And he would like put a little black box over our logo and stuff. And so he just hit me with like, he emailed us one time. He was like, Creative Commons. I can do whatever I want. So I was like, all right. So then I just hit him with the removal request from YouTube, and they like gave him a strike, and he like was like, I'm gonna sue you guys. You can't do this. And I was like, I told you. He was like, you can use it. Just say it in the comments.
That's exactly
the guys that did the work a little fucking.
It's exactly what Creative Commons means. Means you can use this video if you give credit to the creator. That's all it means. Yeah. That's exactly what the Creative Commons means.
He was so mad. And then he did it again. And he's like, if you request to remove this one, you will be litigated. And I was like, okay. And then it popped up. And then I just instantly removed request. And his channel got banned. And then he sent us I wish I could find it in the email. Sent us a really mean email.
Really?
Yeah, calling us like fucking assholes.
I did so much work stealing your video and changing the titles. This is how you repay me.
Yeah,
I'll find you and I'll kill you. The thing about all this stuff is my studio is attached to the podcast. So if someone wants to like get some retribution on something we've said or done, it's going to come to me first.
Oh yeah. Well,
Thanks
that's
for being
good.
that guy for us.
Yeah,
I'm the fall guy.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you also have the most swords.
Yeah. It's true.
This is true.
Sword right here.
You have the only weapons the fucking show has donated.
Yeah. That's this is a good point.
I feel like we've made you well prepared for this situation.
Zell's a canary in the coal mine because if he doesn't show up one day, then we know. Like Andrew is systematically next. Dan's probably going to be the last one.
No, buddy,
murdered.
something happens to
Look at that
Zell, I
sword.
put out the ATT symbol.
Look at that sword. I actually
Whoa, easy.
forgot.
That's not
I
the symbol.
forgot the guy who gave this to us. So if you're watching, make sure to reach out again. Give me your name again because I forgot.
Yeah, you're fucking beauty.
Fucking legend.
Dude.
Look at that Damascus steel.
That's crazy.
Can I tell you that is 100% how one of us croak is swinging that thing in studio with someone else?
I almost died fucking on Saturday.
I almost cut my ear off. Actually, I thought I had an itchy ear, but I was holding the sword and I fucking smacked the headphones. And
it's
almost
sharp.
got my fucking,
It's sharp.
It is sharp. I've cut some fruit with it. Little fruit ninja.
That's what it was meant for.
You gotta stay sharp. Gotta stay ready.
It's also the lightning bolt casting sword for Zalarius now.
Yeah, which is cool.
It looks like it has like lightning bolts embedded in it. That's why it's perfect.
Now, listen, I know we're fucking space conspiracies. Should we get in a little fucking government conspiracy in Canada here? What's going on right now?
Oh man, this is so fucking crazy.
Which one?
This is fucking blatant.
Which one?
This is so bad.
What's the so our prime minister right now called an election. So we have an election coming up.
Interim
Mark
prime
fucking
minister.
Corny.
Unelected prime minister.
Mark Corny.
Canada can go to the polls and choose their next, but our current prime minister doesn't have a seat in Parliament as of right now.
Parliament is now dissolved, but yes, he didn't have a seat.
Yes. So he is taking the riding of his hometown, and they've just ousted. What's the guy's name?
Chadra Ari.
Ari? And he's like
Chadra Arya, I think.
a longtime local, always wins it, and they've just
10 years.
They've just
Been in there
ousted
for a decade.
him. They've just ousted him from his seat and from the Liberal Party. Right?
Yeah, everyone's like the Green Lights Committee just decided to audit him, and
They're like,
realized
red
he didn't
lights.
qualify anymore.
The green lights.
Red light.
And so they basically kicked him out, took all his campaign money that he raised, and are just giving it to Carney so he can run in the riding. And everyone's like, "Oh, this is crazy! How could they just do this to this guy?" You find out that like a couple months ago, that guy's son, his name is like Sedan Ari, I can't remember, was just promoted to the CEO and director of Infrastructure India with Mark Carney's company, Brookfield Management.
Interesting.
It's fucking crazy.
The guy's kid.
This guy's no conflict of interest at all in this.
No,
None.
And
He's been asked multiple times, and he tells you he has none.
He has no conflict.
He's like,
He's
like, I'm not
rescinded
conflicted
all
about it. I'm not
obligatory
conflicted about
duty.
it at all. It's absolutely insane.
It's fucking crazy.
Honestly,
This guy,
the more I look into it, the more it feels like Canada's going through a coup. Legit coup. Like a
It's
Chinese-backed coup.
yeah,
And we just
Scary,
we just saw our previous prime minister outed, and then we have like this new like really
It wasn't outed. He
tight-knit-
quit and then prorogued Parliament for 4 months as we just sat here and died in a trade war.
it was actually such a genius plan, though, to like Trudeau basically decides to fucking bail after the Conservatives have dedicated their entire platform towards discrediting him and going after him.
It worked.
And then like at the last minute, he pulls out, they get a brand new guy in that they have nothing, like they're working on it, but they didn't have a lot on at the time. And not only that, like the guy's running too. So it's like, it's a pretty smart move by the Liberals.
It's a great political genius, I would say. I'm not a political analyst, but I would say great move. Did well for him.
Yeah.
So, dude, it's wild times up in Canada right now politically, but we'll find
not great.
out.
It's not
we
great.
got an election. So, how our elections work? Because someone asked us this on Patreon. You vote for a party, the party votes for its leader, and then that leader becomes the prime minister. So on April 28th, we go to the polls, that's the coolest thing about Canada.
The leader of the party is picked before the election of each party.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you vote for the party, and then
Sometimes they
You were no,
can
you
get in
vote.
without
You
being
vote for your member
of parliament.
Member of parliament.
Sometimes they
which is
can
your
get
party.
in
Yeah.
when
Yes.
they're not even I'm a resident of Canada in the last decades.
He hasn't lived. The guy
You know, it's
hasn't
weird-
lived. He actually hasn't lived in Canada in 10 years.
You know what the weirdest thing is?
Insane.
He holds 3 passports.
They have this ad. So, Dan, you might not know this, but when we don't really get political ads ever in Canada until an election called, and then it's like, dude, the most insane amount of
Just throw
political propaganda
slicing ads.
at every turn. There's fucking political propaganda because like that's the law here. It's like as soon as an election's called, it's like have at her,
No holds barred.
manipulate,
Go.
There's a fucking commercial with our current Prime Minister Mark Carney and fucking Mike Myers. Have you guys seen this one?
No, I haven't.
I mean, it's pretty appropriate considering, like, I'm pretty sure both those guys' major jobs were flops.
Yeah.
Like, Love Guru didn't do that great, and then that guy didn't do a good job with fucking Bank of England.
Dude, they're talking about, they're like doing all these references like Howie Meeker and stuff, and I'm like, how I don't understand any of these references. How old is this shit? And then I was like, and it dawned on me, I was like, these aren't meant for me. They're meant for seniors. That's who this ad is for. Like they're targeting the seniors. I was like, it was such a weird
That's
fucking
the
ad.
liberal voter base now. You watch the fucking his rallies, and it's all blue hairs. It's all geezers, man.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It's great. Did you see like Carney's like first fucking rally, and he had all those newfie fucking fishermen protesting outside of the building? They
They
wouldn't let
locked
them
him
in.
out. They wouldn't trying to ask questions, get to him, locked him fuck out.
It's crazy. This fucking guy, like,
The crazy thing is because it's a liberal party. So like the term liberal, which we would all fall under, like the liberal values, we would all be liberal
we're
people.
all liberal.
But
Yeah,
the Liberal
100%.
Party should be rebranded like ultra progressive something. Like it's crazy. It's not the Liberal Party anymore. It's like it's gone so like we all stayed left like in this one position right here. And then the political spectrum has accelerated so far off where I would be. I'm like, what happened?
Well,
What happened to Canada?
It's the WEF fucking influences, I think.
You know what? I'm going to do a quick grind right now.
Yeah.
I got a quick grind.
Hold on,
It's
shout
nice
out to
it's
Grinds.
nice to hear a grind
Shout out to
from you.
Grinds. To
Grinds on
our
Patreon. There's about 11
Patreon
episodes.
show.
of
Pretty good show.
Grinds. We just
People tend to like it.
so I've been sharing in my Canadian duty to share what I feel is important information for my Canadian fellows. I've been sharing these guys.
Hold on. Let me translate that. I'm sharing my opinion.
I'm sharing an opinion which I think is well represented because I don't want to do it myself. So this podcast, the Blender Report, which are guys our age, are like mid 30s,
Awesome.
used to be just like us, they're liberal guys. They feel politically homeless. They've done this show investigating what's happened to Canada over the last 9 years. So I shared one of these videos, strictly just about financial stuff. No WEF, no conspiracy, just financial ruin Canada's gone through in 9 years. And this motherfucker, who I just kind of know, he's like, GDP's pretty good compared to Harper. And I went, just GDP? I was like, listen, I'm not a keyboard warrior. I'm going to make one response. I'm never going to say
He's like,
another
I'm
word.
coming to your house.
So I just gave a little response. And he went back with, I gave a response. He came back with
Send location.
GDP, and he gave one of those emojis that go like this emoji, like GDP, better under Trudeau. And I go, I hate that. That emoji gets me.
Is it the fucking Michael Jordan guy, the little security
No,
guard?
it's the
doing
the
this?
little girl. It's the girl. It's the girl
Yeah.
going like,
Oh,
GDP.
Oh, he threw the girl version
And
too? So he's just hitting you with the like,
And then I stayed to my words, like I'm not going to respond, and I didn't. But I just wanted to just go on a tirade of charts.
should have went crazy.
I wanted to go on a
Should've went
tirade of
crazy.
charts and just being like, does
Dude,
no
that
one,
was a
does,
Russian
does this
bot,
no one,
100%.
no one know anything anymore?
no.
Is it just like
No.
I
no one
like
paid attention for the last 10
liberal-
fucking years.
like are we in a stage of Stockholm syndrome where like the government can do no wrong? They're like your captors and like you just love no matter what. Is that where we
Yes.
are? I think that's where we
Yes. Right. We
Imagine-
got Dan here and his fucking leader fucking us over.
And then I
come on, Dan.
had a
Hey, Dan, how do you feel about this? We're all united. Huh? You don't even know
Yeah,
that.
what's up, buddy?
Huh, Dan? How do you feel about that? Elbows up. How do you feel, huh?
Well,
What do you
elbows
think
up your
about that?
asses. That's the worst fucking shit I've ever seen.
You know what? And then I also had a political strife with the in-laws, just a minor one. Where I was just talking about
let's hear it.
a conservative point of view, I guess you would call it now, even though it's still quite left, I would say. Just like,
Yeah.
we probably shouldn't just spend $600 billion on nothing. That's what I kind of,
Yeah.
and they're like, what, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, so Steph's mom, I was like, she used to work at the bank. And I said, if you were the bank CEO, let's say, and you were there for 9 years, and in those 9 years, you lost the bank $650 billion, do you think you should be granted another 5-year term as CEO? And she went, no. I went, exactly.
Yeah.
And
And,
people,
and then you hit her. Did you hit her with this?
went,
The little shrug after.
right? And you're just like, well, all the other countries are also experiencing this. And like, yeah, but Canada's the worst of them all. So like, in as far as like political stuff, like of all the shit that happens, someone in the end, as a democracy, the government has to pay the cost of like losing the job. That's the whole point. If you did a bad job, you should lose the job. Not necessarily that.
but
like
things are so much different now with Carney, aren't they?
Yeah.
yeah, 95% of it's all the same people. It's exactly the same.
My eggs. I've noticed my eggs are the same price.
I've noticed that all electronics and anything I want to buy is 25% more expensive now because we tariffed ourselves. I went to go buy another camera for the studio, and I know they were $9.99. The last one I bought was 6 months ago. I was like, I'm going to get one more, so I have 4. So if I ever do a podcast and there's 4 people, everyone's got an angle. They're now $12.50 plus tax overnight.
Fuck.
We did that to ourselves. That's our retaliatory
We're taxing
tariff.
ourselves to
taxing
fucking
ourselves to get back at the United States.
Yeah. How do
but
you
listen,
like that, Dan? Dan,
I've
how do you like them apples?
Carney said that the average Canadian consumer doesn't use steel. So we can tariff at them. It's not a big deal.
We don't use steel in any of our homes.
That's literally what he said in interviews. He's like, how many people do you know that go and just buy steel?
Didn't he also say that the opioid pandemic is only a United States problem?
It's a little inconvenience. Is what I think he said. He said it's a slight inconvenience.
Anyways,
Not
out
a
of
Yeah,
touch.
for a rich guy,
Out of touch, I would say.
it's a
Somebody's making
slight
money off
it's,
of the
let's
fucking-
chat-
it's a slight inconvenience when my Uber has to stop at a red light in East Hastings.
Did you guys see the fucking that lab that they fucking uncovered in Falkland?
Dude, that's insane. Breaking
my
Bad
God.
shit.
Like meth
Like-
lab? Or
Like
fentanyl?
we're talking like an actual lab, like science lab, not some greasy fucking thing with water containers that are. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Right? Like, did you read about that, Braden?
Yeah. It's insane.
It's like the first time that they've been able to find a lab. Usually they have the trace elements that they use to make the drug, right? But they were like actually producing those elements in this drug.
I loved
probably
one of the
butchered that,
one of the articles I read was like, this is a Breaking Bad level super lab, and I'll just repeat it again for Zella, Breaking Bad level super lab, and then later in the article, and it goes, you may be thinking that this is Walter in a Winnebago. This is Gus Fring level operation,
out
like
of
insanity.
Falkland.
It's the
Out
most
of
elaborate fucking lab they've ever busted, from what I understand.
And it's this. Dude,
That's such a
the
tiny
craziest thing
town.
about Falkland is like 200, 300 people. Is it even that many? It's a literally
It might be a little
drive
more
through.
than that, maybe. But that's
It's a drive through town.
So yeah, it's a one gas station
It's so
town.
small. It's so small. It's a one gas station, and they have the fucking rodeo on the side of the highway, like literally. And it's like the Falkland Rodeo. It's their biggest.
It's the only reason the town exists is for the yearly rodeo
Well, no, apparently meth.
and meth.
How do you spell Falkland? FAU.
FAULK land, Falkland.
BC.
Yeah.
Population maybe 1,000. What's the guess? Over under 900 people. Everyone knows everyone. I guarantee there's people in the know in Falkland.
Yeah, your high school class has 8 kids in it. All right.
Yeah. You know everybody's business with that many people.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. World
It's
we live
fucking
in.
nuts. But it just
boys,
makes you wonder who's got that elaborate of a setup.
China.
China. That's 100% who it
Where's
is.
the safe supply drugs coming from?
China.
Safe supply?
China? I don't know.
Yeah.
Israel?
Yeah.
Anyways, hey, boys, let's wrap this one up. I've had a fucking long night after a long day.
So it's fun.
Sounds good, buddy.
Keep an eye on the pyramids. We'll get some real radar down there, see what's really going on, but time will tell. All right. Peace.
Keep those eyes on the skies.